Hi everyone, welcome. Thanks for joining me. We're going to do a little crafting. So this is the tassel that I made in my the last journal that I made, and so I thought I would do a share on how to make them. I mean, they're pretty simple, self-explanatory, but why not? So yeah, I thrifted a whole bunch of these buckles from a thrift store, and I thought I will use these someday, and someday is now. So basically you're just using this ring here. Let me zoom down even closer because otherwise I'm going to be holding this up all the time. So basically you're just going to put all of your ribbons and fibers or whatever you want through this, tie it, and then we're just going to fancy up the top, or, you know, we're going to cover this up if you don't like the brass showing. So I've got a few ideas here to do that. So let's go through here. So I have some vintage sheet. Oh, I forgot to do that. Turn that on. So I have a little mini straightener. This thing heats up really fast, so it will only take a minute, but it's like a little travel one. It's not even 6 inches long. And that's how I use to iron all of my ribbons. So I'm going to let that heat up a second, because the sheet, you know, when you rip it, you know, when you tear it, it kind of like wants to curl on you. So we'll straighten that in a second. So what I did is, depending on your ribbon, you can, this one's kind of long, so let's cut some of these off because I don't want this one to be very long. And then I have this really beautiful flowered, it's the, I don't really know what you call this trim, but it's really cool, and I think I want that in the front, you know, so when you put it through here, whatever's showing in the front is what's gonna, you know, be in the front. So I'm gonna do that. So I kept these all blue colored, and I'm gonna do it. So I got a little extra on that one. I will cut it off, and then I'm gonna put all of my small ribbon around it. Sorry, I'm not even in frame, and okay, let's just do it. Let's do it. Do it laying down. Oops, I even had my pin in there. Oh, that would hurt. Okay, this is hot already. I can feel it. So let's just iron this real quick. See how that works? It's fabulous. I just love using a flat iron to just, and I just use a mini one, and I don't need a big giant one in here. I don't have that thick of, you know, ribbons and stuff. So I think those are pretty much, yeah. Oh, this stuff will, so if you get the ones that are on the cord, or a card, then you have like these crinkles where it was on the card. So you kind of have to hold it on here a second to straighten that out. See, that one's another one where the fold is. Yeah, so you got another crinkle there. And then there's another one right here. I don't think I'll be using all of this, but there. See, that turned out really nice. Just that little tiny bit. That thing is wonderful. I love that thing. Okay. So again, I think I want these flowers on the top. So my wider ones are going to go in the back. Let's put that one there. I don't care if they're longer. I'm just going to cut it off. I'm going to do my lace here. Whoops. I got to move up so you can see me a little better. Okay. And then I got some really tiny cord. So that's going to go there. And I got some really cool blue. So I kind of kept this, you know what? Look at how wrinkled this one is from being on the folded on the card. So let's just do this one really quick. This is just really simple. I love this. And then boom, look at that. We're all done. Okay, so let's do that one. I'm keeping this all blues and kind of pinks. Okay, that one. Now, I'm gonna keep that one out, and let's do the white lace, and then we're gonna do this one on top. All right, I'm going to, this is all level here, I'm gonna cut it. Okay, that's my extras. I mean, it's just really simple. We're just gonna stick it all through the hole, and you can do one at a time or attempt to just get it through there. Actually, I'm gonna do, let's just kind of put them all through there. This one. Sorry, this is kind of the tedious process, but I think this is the only one that I don't have. Whoops, get that in there. Whoops. I want my big ones on the bottom, so they gotta go on the bottom. So just flipping it upside down. Oh, is there back to that? Yes. Okay. These are kind of the same as those clamps that you would put either in the jewelry section. And you know what? I really like just those right there. I don't know if I want this big flower on here, now that I think about it. Maybe I will use the flower to go around the top. I'm thinking twice on that. I think I like it just like this. I'm kind of a more's or less is more person. I kind of like that. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave these out. This is, I think, going to be too much. I mean, you can do it however you want, but the journal that I'm going to be working on, I don't want it to take away from that. Okay, I'm just getting all my cords so that they're all the same length here. And I really like that. Let me pull that down just a little more. Just being finicky. Yeah, I like that. Yep, I don't think I want anything else on there. Alright, my hearts. I got one long and one short. So let's fix the hearts. Heart ribbon, there we go. Okay, that is cool. I like that. Alright, now you need to tie this off. So you can either take another piece of ribbon or a piece of lace, or you could use cording and then put beads on it. I think I'm going to use this cording here. So let me just make it a little extra long. We're just going to tie it off. That's it, really. The other one, this one that I did, I used a piece of trying to get it to focus. I just used a piece of lace around it. But you don't want to tie it like so you scrunch it, because what's going to happen is it's not going to lay flat for you. But I mean, we can try it. I didn't. I just didn't want that kind of a look. But I mean, I guess we could do. Let's just try it. All right. So let's just tie it all the way. I'm going to double knot it here, and then we're going to use this extra to put the beads on. Okay, let's see, then you kind of make a triangle, but because it's wide here. But you know what, it's gonna have, and then I wonder if I can make a bow up here at the top, a little tiny one. how that would look, but that is cool. I like that. Yeah, that is cute. All right, so my thought was to put a butterfly up here on this, but we could also use, I can put that there, but I think I even have this that you could put at the top too. So you could hide this if you wanted to hide this. You don't have to if you don't mind the look of it. But I almost like the butterfly at the top here. And then, yeah, I kind of like that. The butterfly, though, is a little hot pink, where this is pale pink. So I'm not sure I have another butterfly. But you would just take some, I use E6000 right here. I use E6000 because E6000 works on metal, not so much the Fabri-Tac or the other one, the 3-in-1. I know it says for metal, but, or doesn't it? No, this one does not. So I don't use that. I use this anyways. But I would just glue on my item up here at the top, and then this only needs to be on here just to be able to flip it open, you know, to open the top. That's all you're doing. This is what's doing the grabbing, not this. This is just kind of like the lid. So you could easily, you know, do this. This butterfly is kind of big for it, but that's what would go on. That's what I would put on there, but I think I'm going to have to go look. I won't do it right now, but I think I have a lighter colored, this is a fabric butterfly, to put there on the top. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that. You know what? I do like the bow there, so let me just cut this off. And then I'll put a dab of glue. Let me zoom way down here so you can see better. So I'm gonna put a dab of glue here on this so that it stays. And I'm not sure if I'll add some beads. You could add a couple pearls maybe onto this if you want, and it'll dangle down, kind of like this one did. Could even put. I could even weave this through here, this button, and put it there. I mean, so there's all different kinds of ways, but really that's all you have to do with these is, you know, you just wrap your ribbons or fabrics or whatever you're using, your torn fabrics, and then you're just going to clip it onto your journal. The journal, how I did it, I did the eyelets. I did the eyelet through, I did the eyelet through the spine, and then that's just what your clips to. I don't know if you could do it on a page, but these have teeth on it, so I wouldn't do it on a page, that's for sure. But definitely you could clip this to fabric or whatever. So anyways, that is just it. I was just going to bring you along and show you. I'm not going to finish the whole project because I don't have the other items in front of me. But that is how I did those. And like I said, you could, you know, alter these however you want. But I just thought I would share this. This was just so cool. So yeah, it just reminds me of the mittens when you were a kid. So there you go. Hopefully that inspires you, or if you find some of these to recycle and use them. All right, talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.